Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pumpkin Patch and welcome to Days of Halloween. I'm your host James Moser and today this place is haunted. That's right, this is our second straight day of all haunted places, all haunted houses, haunted attractions, haunted things. I think there was a television that was haunted yesterday or something. I don't really know. It's amazing that we have such a wealth of haunted house material that we can give you not one, but 2 different days of just haunted things. So without further ado, let's move into October the 13th for another day full of haunts. For our Halloween classic of the day, we are choosing the 1980 Canadian horror film, The Changeling. Patton himself is waging a campaign against ghosts in his Victorian mansion. How did you die, Joseph? Did you die in this house? Why are you still here? The film is based on Russell Hunter's actual real-life experience when he moved to a house that he said was haunted. After the tragic loss of his wife and his child, composer John Russell moves from New York City to Seattle. He's looking to try to find some peace, some quiet, and try to put his life back together. Spoiler alert, buddy! You are not gonna get it in this house because this thing is haunted. But I'm telling you right now, this house has everything you could possibly want. It has running water, turns on when it wants to. Beautiful stained glass window, shatters randomly. It's got a lot of room. It has a room boarded up. And it's also got a beautiful bathtub that has dead people in it. I mean, I guess it's in a good school district. Maybe it's got a southern exposure. I have no clue. I didn't see the MLS sheet. I mean, I definitely think that should have been disclosed when he was renting the house, but I mean, I don't know Seattle law. Maybe that's fine. But George C. Scott is not about to let this happen on his watch. There's a seance, there's EVP recordings, and ultimately he's trying to solve what ends up being a very elaborate mystery. A fantastic performance by George C. Scott. It has atmosphere coming out of every door in this place, whether it's boarded up or not. Way to go, Canada! Oh, Canada! This is for the, at least 2 Canadians that we have watching this, who you may see later on in the month. I'm not gonna lie, I still super get chills when I think about this movie. I'm just saying, don't expect to sleep well, whether or not you have dead people in the bathtub or not. Alright everybody, we're jumping from 1980 to 1981. We're also jumping from Canada to Italy. Our selection for the overlooked horror film of the day goes to the 1981 brilliant classic film, The House by the Cemetery, directed by Lucio Fulci. Mostly, I grew up on the subgenre of Italian horror and on horror in general called giallo. Giallo is an extremely bloody, gory horror film mixed together with a mystery movie. The film takes place mostly in a small New England town. Fulci's films especially, but giallo films in general have this tendency to bounce around a lot. There's a lot of non sequiturs, so it's really hard to describe the plot of this film. It really has to be experienced. But most of the film takes place in this small New England town in this rundown house that used to be owned by Dr. Freudstein. Dr. Freudstein! Dr. Freudstein's house is the titular House by the Cemetery. And when we say it's the House by the Cemetery, it's not cemetery adjacent. It's more like a cemetery with a house in it. There's gravestones in the backyard and the side yard. They're in the front yard. There's a running thread through this whole movie. When people pull into the driveway, they run into headstones. This movie has got more cemetery than house. So this film definitely has a don't go in the basement kind of feel to it. This isn't one of those type of movies where someone goes into the basement, hears something or sees something weird and runs out. Nah, this is the type of movie where someone goes in the basement and immediately dies. And then someone else goes in the basement and they immediately die. And so they just board it up and they're gonna be like, just don't go down there. Y'all don't call the police? What are the rules for buying a house in the 80s? But it is masterfully put together by Lucio Fulci. Lucio Fulci is one of my favorite directors of all time. And this movie, House by the Cemetery, is probably my biggest guilty pleasure. I absolutely adore this movie. I'm gonna be honest with you, if Hollywood was to call me today and say, hey James, we want you to remake a movie, what would it be? I would say, House by the Cemetery. I love this film. It's gonna freak you out. Definitely try it. It's gonna be weird in a way that you're not used to. Our selection for the Halloween in-between movie goes to the 2003 Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion from 2003, starring Eddie Murphy, is actually based on the Haunted Mansion attraction at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. The one in the movie is actually sort of a hybrid of the two. Eddie Murphy is part of a husband-wife real estate agent team, Jim and Sarah Evers. They're extremely happy at being able to possibly list this beautiful mansion, a house known as Gracie Manor. Upon reaching Gracie Manor, they're able to meet the owner, Edward Gracie. They're able to meet his butler, Ramsley, played by Terrence Stamp, and they're allowed to tour the manor to see exactly what the property has to offer. They find that the library is well stocked with priceless editions, only ghost stories, of course, and marble busts of the greatest ghost writers the literary world has ever known. It has wall-to-wall creeps and hot and cold running chills. Jim and Sarah have also come to this house with their 2 kids. And immediately after getting into the house and getting a brief tour, every one of them is split up. The wife starts to realize that there may be more to Master Gracie than meets the eye. And Eddie Murphy stumbles on Madame Leota, the resident fortune teller, master of the occult, and head in a glass ball. The kids start to discover that there may be a bit of a mystery behind this. The Haunted Mansion by Disney. Give it a try. And our final film selection for today goes to the 2006 movie Monster House. This is a haunted house film that kind of takes it to a different level. But this house is so haunted, the house itself is actually alive. The house is actually eating people. The film is about a group of kids who investigate the local haunted house after the person who lived there, the local curmudgeon, dies suddenly. They're trying to figure out where all the disappearances are happening and how the haunted house is actually alive and doing it. The film is fun, it's full of action, it's full of laughs, and it has this loving, sentimental thread that kind of ties throughout the whole film. It's really hard to describe. You really have to watch it to understand it, and I don't want to give away too much to this film. This movie was produced by Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg. It's done using mocap, motion capture technology, and one of the writers for the film is Dan Harmon from Rick and Morty and Community. But Monster House from 2006, check it out. And our selection for the Haunt Spotlight of the day goes to the 13th Gate, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The 13th Gate is one of the premier haunted houses in the country. It's been named as one of the absolute best by AOL. MTV said it was one of the best haunted houses ever made by, of course, our best friends, the Travel Channel, who are ignoring us and not paying attention to our tweets. Do you not love us anymore, Travel Channel? Did you ever love us? Currently, the 13th Gate is set to open. Check the link down in the description. Go to their website and just make sure. Why you ghosting me, Travel Channel? And that's it, Pumpkin Patch. We hope you guys enjoyed your selections of 4 movies and 1 haunted house for October the 13th, the finale of 2 days of haunted houses. I'm sure the previous episode was much better. Jessica is much more photogenic. I'm just saying. She's real easy on the eyes. But eyes on your own paper. Go ahead and click or treat if you don't mind. That's where you like, share, subscribe, and you ring that notification bell so that you get all the notifications of all the episodes, whether I'm in them or not. Also, stalk us on all the social media sites. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And thank you guys for riding with the Fall Horsemen, where Halloween lives and fall is forever. It's gonna... Hold on. Hello? Hollywood? Why, yes, this is James from the Fall Horsemen. Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, you want me to remake a movie? That's amazing. I would love to remake House by the... Oh, Return to Oz. You want me to remake Return to Oz? Oh, no, you want all that stuff. All the stuff? Everything? You want a lightning rod salesman too? Yeah, I mean, weird flex, but okay, I guess so. Can I at least get Fairuza Balk back? Maybe? Bring up the notes. Kind of just collashing. Collashing? That's not a word. Ow, bring up the notes. Am I right in the right place? Am I right place? Am I good? Here we go. Get it all out. Get it all out. He's composer Jack Russell. That is a dog name. That would have gone completely different if that guy's name was in some of the language. George C. Scott plays a Jack Russell Terrier. It's an amazing family-friendly film. Hunter? Russell Hunter. Film stars George C. We're jumping from 19... Explosive and 19... Is it still shaking? For the This... Elizabeth... Something. Henshaw. Baton Rouge. Gotta have them notes. Hot in here. I need a drink.